Hello again and good morning. All of this stuff right here is on your test, okay? And your test is going to be from Friday tomorrow till Monday, online twice. If you need a hard copy, come see me today. So I have one for you tomorrow. All right, let's take a look here. This one right here, you just use your calculator. So you're going to write it twice. And when you write it twice, let's see what happens. 8.9, put a negative in front of it, times 8.9, put a negative in front of it. It should be a positive. It's going to be 79.21. Okay, 79.21. Okay, well, let's move on. All right, so on the next one, this is Pythagoreans Theorem. Now, you should have learned this in Algebra 1. So draw a line, circle your C. 3 times 3 is 9, don't put 6. 11 times 11. What you want to do is get rid of the 9 first and then get rid of that. So you want to subtract 9 because it's a plus. And then you're going to get c squared is equal to whatever that is. So I think it's 112. So 121 minus 9 is 112. And then you want to do the square root. So to get rid of the square, you do something called the square root. So that cancels. Now, I'm not sure what the answer choices are, so you might just be able to use your calculator. So shift, square root, I get 10.6. So you have to look at the answers and see which ones they want. But you might have to break this down. Remember, you break it down with 2s, 3s, 5s, 7s, any prime number. So 2 times half of 112 divided by 2 is going to give me 56. And then you keep breaking it down by 2. So divide it by 2, it gives me 28. Go again, divide it by 2, it gives me 14. And then this gives me 2 times 7. Now circle all of this. Remember I taught you extracting perfect roots? You might have to do that. You certainly have to do it on the EOC. Remember, 2 of a kind makes a perfect square. So you get 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 2 is 4 right here. And now you have 2 4s. So 4 times 4 is 16. So it's going to be the square root of 16 times 7 gives you 112. And the nice thing about this is the square root of 16 is 4, so your final answer will be 4 square root of 7. Let's just check that to make sure it's right. So you want to clear your calculator out, and you want to press, and I want you to do this with me, you want to press 7 shift square root times 4, and I get 10.58, which is 10.6. Okay, make sure you understand that. You make this just a little bit brighter. Okay. All right, let's keep moving. Make sure you can extract perfect roots. If not, go on YouTube and figure it out. In fact, here's another one. So you're going to go 2 times 12, 2 times 6, 2 times 3, and here you have a perfect pair. 2 times 2 is 4. So that's going to be the square root of 4. Put these together. 2 times 3 is 6. This gives me 24. The square root of 4 is 2, so my final answer is 2 square root of 6. And again, if you have to, use your calculator. Make sure you know both ways. This one right here, I guess it's just combined like terms. You can look at your answer choices and figure that out. That's going to be a negative 6x because I have more negatives, and this looks like a plus 12. And that's all you can do. You can't add up the x's and the numbers. All right, let's keep moving. Short leg to hypotenuse. See that right there? That means 2. That's going to be a fraction. So there's something called, you see where the box is? Color the box. The box touches here and here. Those are your legs. This is your short leg, and 15 is the long leg, and the hypotenuse is the biggest one. And it's across from the 90. Make sure you know that. So they want the short leg over the hypotenuse. So that's going to be 8 over 17, and you're done. That's all you're doing. If they wanted short leg over long leg, you would put 8 over 15. All right, let's keep moving. On a new sheet of paper, copy this down. All right. Tomorrow I'm going to be sending out week 2 to your parents, and their homework assignment is to compare your week 2 with a good quality week 2 from one of the other students, and it could very well be one of yours. So look up here. My parents look at week 2, I get credit. So you want to write it as an if then. So if my parents look at week 2, then I get credit. Okay, I'm not going to write all those words down just to save some time. Okay, the converse would be if, you got to switch it. If I get credit, then my parents looked at week 2. Okay, the inverse is the opposite of this, conditional. Remember, circle the word if and then. That's your hypothesis right here. And this is your conclusion. Okay? Do not include the word if and then. So the inverse would be if my parents do not look at week 2, then I do not get credit. Okay? The contrapositive is only if both of these are true. So let's just say both of these are true, because that is correct. So now you drop the word if and you drop the word then and say, parents look at week 2 if and only if I get credit. And that's it. Okay, if and only if. And actually, no, that is your biconditional. Okay, so let me back up. The contrapositive is both of them, so you got to switch it and change it. So let me just correct that. So if I do not get credit, not credit, then my parents did not look at my week 2. Okay? So the biconditional uses if and only if. The contrapositive is that one, where you got to do both of them, switch it and write the opposite. Okay, your practice test today is right here, and we're going to talk about that in a little while. So let's take a look here. If you can't be with us, here it is. So on the top of your page, you want to scratch out test number 1 and put practice test, because it is a practice, and it's right here. All right, and then the back side looks like this. It's going to be on Canvas. Okay. So I will upload it to Canvas, but I just want to show you guys what it is, in case you're just looking at the video. All right, and the answers I think are on the back, so we'll do that too. Remember, there's tutoring at both lunches. Okay, MCR is right here on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the Media Center. All right, let's talk about MCR work here. MCR work, you're going to change this to an improper fraction. So you're going to get 1 over 5 times 4 times 9 is 36 plus 1 is 37 over 9. When you multiply, you're going to get 37 over 45. Okay, and you can try to reduce. I don't think you can. This one right here is addition. So there's a lot of ways you can do this. I taught you how to multiply, so that's 12 plus 5. So that's going to be 17 over 6 plus 1 over 9. Okay, remember to find your least common denominator. Take the big one. Does 6 go into 9? No. Double it, 18. Does 6 go into 18? Yes. That's your least common denominator. So multiply this one by 3 to get 18. Multiply this one by 2, and you're going to get whatever that is. 7 times 3 is 21. So I guess that's 51 over 18 plus 2 over 18, which is going to give you a grand total of 53 over 18. We'll leave it like that. This one right here is division, so you got to flip this one over first. Don't try to reduce, okay? So you get 8 over 9 times 45 over 9, and then you can try to reduce as long as it's times. And I can technically reduce this, I think. Yeah, 3 goes into 9 3 times, 3 goes into 4 once, but 1 left over, so 3 goes into 45 15 times. I think I can reduce this one too. 3 goes into 9 3 times, 3 goes into 15 5, 5 times 8 is 40, so I'm going to get 40 over 9, 3 times 3. If you don't know what I did, you can multiply 8 times 45 and 9 times 9 and then reduce it to this. Last one is a proportion. A lot of kids say, oh, do I cross multiply? When it's a proportion, yes. So it's going to be 28 times 2 equals 7 times x, or h. And we're going to divide by 7, so technically we could have just left it over there. So look at what we have. Clear the calculator out. So 28 times 2, press equals, divided by 7, equals, I get 8. And you can check it, watch. 2 divided by 7 equals that, 0.28, and then 8 divided by 28 should be the same thing. And it is. Okay, so that's your answer. All right, so for those of you at home, here is your practice test. And it's going to be on Canvas. And that's all there is to it. The answers are on the back side. Let's take a look here. Which fraction is equivalent to 3 over 7? So clear your calculator. Take 3 divided by 7, and bam, I get 0.42. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm going to take 6 divided by 14, 0.428. It looks like it's that one. So just verify it. These right here are already worked. Okay, so I'm going to drop down to these. A fruit stand charges $7 for 9 pounds. So $7, you get 9 pounds of fruit. How much would it cost for 36 pounds? Well, since you have pounds at the bottom, you want to put 36 down here. And up here, you want to put the money, which we don't know. So you're going to multiply this times this divided by that. Cross multiply. But I'm going to leave the 9 over there. So it's going to be 7 times 36, press equals, divided by 9, and I get $28. So it's going to be $28 will be the cost for 36 pounds. How can I check it? I can divide that and see if it equals to that. Just like I did earlier. This right here, a positive times a negative, that's a negative. Now these signs are the same, so that gives me a negative 5. A positive times a negative, one negative is going to be a negative 12. This one's going to be a positive 10, 2 negatives. This one's going to be 1 negative, so it's going to be a negative 8. This one right here, you got to do parentheses first, and you're going to do exponents. So it's going to be negative 2 plus 36. And then this right here is to the third power, but that's going to be a negative 2 to the third power. That right there looks like 34. This right here is going to be a negative 2 times a negative 2 times a negative 2. You got 3 negatives, so it's going to be a negative. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, so that's a negative 8. One negative here is going to be a negative. Whatever 8 times 34 is, and we're going to try that right now. So 8 times 34, I get 272, and that required a little bit of work, but there it is. Okay, order of operations. In the last one here, 2 squared, that's going to be 4, plus 4 times 0, that gives me 0, plus 12. Well, this is 0. 4 times 0. That gives me 16, and I'm done with that. This one right here is a trapezoid. The formula for a trapezoid is 1/2 the height times the sum of the bases. So color the box. That's your height. So it's going to be 1/2 times 13. My bases are the ones that are parallel. So that one is parallel to that one. So it's 24 plus 44. Okay? So I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to take 24 plus 44, press equals, times 13, press equals, divide by 2 last, and I get 442 square inches, and that's my answer, and that's area. Now if you look at number 15, you don't know if it's circumference or you don't know if it's area. But if you look at the answer, you see how it's squared right here? That means it's area. So we're going to do the area. So area of a circle, in fact, we'll do both. So area of a circle is pi radius squared. Pi is 3.14. The radius here is 9. From the center to a point on the circle is called your radius. So that's going to be 9 times 9. Multiply that out, you got your answer. Circumference, even though they're not asking for it, I don't know what your test is going to say. So it's going to be pi, circumference is pi, times the diameter. The diameter is going to be 2 arms. This one plus this one makes 18. Multiply that out, and you have your answer for the distance around the circle, 1 lap. All right, that's pretty much it. I showed you everything you needed to know, and that's what we're doing today. So have a good morning, and I'll see you in class.